Well, hello. So let's go over each unit in this review. So jump around in this video as much as you need. If you need to jump over to another unit, you go check out another one of my videos. They'll be split up by units. So if you're starting here and really want just the Unit 2 material, jump over to Unit 2. So here we go. Let's start with Unit 1. So again, the first question, you're just combining like terms. So be careful here. When you look at those expressions, I see 5 positive x's and 3 negative x's. So if you combine those, that gives you 2x. And then if you have 3 negatives combined with 5 negatives, that would actually be -8 because you're getting more negative. So be very careful there. Seeing some issues with adding and combining negative numbers. So be careful there. The second one, before I do anything, I notice that there's a 4 here and a negative in front of the parentheses. So if I distribute that through, this would be -4a. And the -4 times +2 would be -8. And now if I combine like terms, you'll see you have 4 a's with 4 negative a's. Well, those would cancel each other out and make 0. And then I'm left over with 2 positives and 8 negatives, which if you combine those two, that would give you -6. Okay. If I go to number 3, same idea. There's a -x in front of the parentheses. So if I distribute that through, this is really just -x times y, or in other words, -x. There we go. xy. -x times +2 becomes -2x's. Because again, we're just multiplying. And then the same thing is going to be applied with this -3. If I distribute the -3 through, -3 times -3 becomes +9. -3 times -x becomes +3x. And now I can combine like terms. The 2 x's that are negative combined with the 3 that are positive. That's really just 3 minus 2, which just becomes +x. And then I can't combine the -xy's because there's no other xy's there. So I'm just going to write -xy there. And then the 9 positives, the +9, there's no ones or negatives there to combine. So therefore I leave it as such and we're done. Question number 4, it's asking to evaluate. Whenever you see that word, it just means find the value. Go ahead and find the value by plugging in. So if x is 4 and y is 5, I just replace or substitute each of those numbers in for the variable. So in this case, this is 4 minus 4 times 5, because again, y is 5. 4 times 5 is 20, so this is just 4 minus 20, which comes out to be -16. Number 5 is very similar, but instead you're plugging in a negative number, so x is -4, y is 5, so I will replace x with -4, y with 5, so that's -4 times 5, and then be minus whatever x says. In this case it's -4, so I'll put a -4 here, and notice I'm subtracting a negative, which means it's going to become positive, because I want the opposite of a negative, which is positive. So this is now +4. -4 times 5 gives you -20. If you add -20 and 4, be careful here. It is not -24. You have 20 negatives. You have 4 positives. So if you think about that, you have a lot more negatives than positives. And it doesn't become more negative. It would just be -16 because 4 negatives would cancel out with 4 positives. Those are positives there. Those are gone. And now you're only left with 16 negatives. Okay? All right, number 6, a little bit more tricky, but again, we're doing the same thing. I replace x with 2, so that'd be 2 times y squared, which would be 3 squared. And I'll leave it there for now. Minus x, which again is 2, times y, which is 3, times z, which is 5, all over 2. And what's important here is that this squared, it means you're multiplying that number by itself twice. So that really means 3 times 3. And we need to do exponents first. That's the idea of order of operations, PEMDAS. So 3 times 3 is 9. So this is just 2 times 9. Minus, well, what is 2 times 3? That's 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 2 times 9 would be 18. And then 18 minus 30 would give you -12. So I just quickly simplified that top part, and then I'm going to divide it by 2 to get -6. Okay, and that's number 6. Number 7, it's asking you to write an expression, and notice this is 5 less than twice the number. So if we think about what this is happening, it says twice a number. We don't know what that number is, right? I don't know what that number is. I'm going to call it x. I need twice it. So that means that's 2 times x, or in other words, 2x. Whatever number that is, I want 5 less than that. In order to do that, I just need to take 5 away from it, and there's your expression. So when you look at these expressions, you want to kind of think about it as what am I doing to the unknown number? It's kind of like the game we played. I'm going to take that number, multiply it by 2, and then subtract 5. The reason why is it's following that same pattern of identifying what are we doing to the number. So let's look at number 8. So it says 4 times the sum of a number. So here's the number we don't know, I'll call it x, and 12 is 48. So we're doing 4 times something. What are we multiplying it by? It says the sum. So I'm going to put a parenthesis here because I need to do the sum of a number, which I don't know, and 12. Because the sum means addition, so x plus 12 would be the sum. 4 times that sum, so therefore the 4 is on the outside. And then they're telling me that this all has to equal 48, so this equals 48. And that right there would be my sentence as an equation. And that's it for problem 8. Moving on to problem number 9. It's asking you to solve the equation, which again, the idea is what are we doing to x? We have x, we're multiplying it by 3, because that's the first operation we would do if we plugged in for x, and then we would subtract 3 and get 12. And all we're doing is we're just working backwards. So instead of subtracting 3, we need to add 3. So I'll do that over here, plus 3 to get rid of the negative 3. We have 3x is equal to 15. And now I need to undo the last step, which is multiplication. I need to do the opposite, so divide by 3, and we get x is equal to 5. And that's it. So you may notice that I'm kind of building like this little tower here. You don't have to do this. You really don't. But if it helps you see what needs to be done first, go ahead and do it. I'll do it again for a few other ones just so that way you can see it. So number 10 is there's quite a bit happening here. I'm not going to do the tower yet because I recognize there's an x here and x here. The reason why I was able to just create like that tower of operations is because there's only one x. Notice here you have 2 x's. So I need to do some combining and simplification on everything on the left side before I do anything else. So to do that, I'm going to distribute the 6 through. That would give me 6 times 3x, which is 18x. 6 times negative 4, which is negative 24. And then that negative 4x here will stay. So I'll keep that there. And now I'll combine like terms. You have 18x's that are positive, 4 that are negative. Please don't do this. I've seen it happen many times. You guys want to get rid of that 4x. And the issue with that is it's all on the same side. If you added 4x there, yeah, you would get rid of the negative 4x, but then you would have to put it over here, and that doesn't make the problem any easier. So we're just going to combine like terms. 18x, this is with 4 negatives. That would give you 14x minus 24 equal to negative 66. And now it's the same structure as number 9, where I'm being asked to solve for x. So if I look at x, you're multiplying it by 14. And then you subtract 24, and you get negative 66. So therefore, we got to go in the complete opposite order, which means I need to do the opposite. I need to add 24, which I believe gives me, what is that, negative 42. And then divide by 14, because that's I need to undo the multiplication. You get x is equal to negative 3, and that's it. Okay. Moving on to number 11. If you look at that one, again, you see x is being divided by 3. So if I think about it this way, I'm dividing it by 3, adding 6, and I get 36. So I just have to go in the opposite order, subtract 6, multiply by 3. So I'll come over here, I'll subtract 6. That'll give me 30. And now I need to undo the division, so I'll multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3. X, in this case, is going to equal 90. And we're done. Okay, so looking at 12. 12 is a similar idea, but notice there's all these fractions. So we could do the same process that we've done before by like moving, because you have x's on both sides. We could subtract the fraction over and think of it as 1x minus 1 over 6x. But a lot of you don't like fractions. but that is one way you can do it. If you want to see that approach, just look at the answer key, because I did it that way. But what I'll do for this video is show you a way to get rid of these fractions, because again, fractions, you can think of the denominator as division. So how do I do this division of 3, 6, and 2? Well, notice 3 can go into 6, 2 can go to 6. So therefore, if I multiply everything by 6, you would get, was it 6x plus, what's 6? 6 divided by 3 is 2. I'll come over here. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So that's 1x. And then 6 times negative 1/2 would just be negative 3. So in a way, what I did is since I multiplied everything, the left side and the right side, by 6, I didn't change the relationship. We've kept it. We just removed the fractions, which then allows us to then solve an equation with variables on both sides. And therefore, to do that, I need to get rid of one of the x's, either 6x or x. I'm going to get rid of the single x on the right. Then we just have to get rid of an x on the left. This is now 5x plus 2 equal to negative 3. And now it becomes the same problem structure as what you've seen with 9, 10, 11 on minus 2. This is now 5x equal to negative 5. Divide both sides by 5. Negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1, and that is your answer. Okay. Looking at problems 13 and 14, really quickly, notice I have to simplify the left side and the right side before I do anything else. So I'm going to distribute that 2 through. That would give me a 2x minus 6. Then over here, I'll distribute the negative 2 through. This would be negative 6 plus 2x. And now I need to, in a sense, get rid of one of the x's on the left or the right. I'm going to get rid of this 2x on the right. But notice what happens when I do. This is canceled. You're left over with negative 6 is equal to negative 6, which this should be a huge red alert. There's something strange happening. But the nice part about this is, since they're the exact same, then we know that these two equations are the exact same. So in this case, we have infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. I'm just going to write infinitely many. And again, the reason is these are the exact same equations. If you really want to look at it carefully, before I start canceling everything out, do you see how we have a 2x here and a 2x here? They're both positive. They're the same. See how there's a negative 6 and negative 6? They're exact same, so therefore they're the exact same equation on the left and the right. That's why we have infinitely many solutions. You're going to see 14 will come up with another strange situation, but let's show it to you. I'm going to simplify what's on the right first by combining the 5x and the negative 2x. That, again, is a negative 7. It would be positive 3x because you're taking 2 away from 5. So now you have 3x minus 3 over here. You have 3x plus 5 over here. And now if you take a look, you should notice, I have a 3x here and a 3x here, which if you did remove, you would end up with 0 plus 5, which is 5 on the left, and then negative 3 on the right. Notice these don't equal each other, so therefore this is no solution for that one. Okay? All right. So really quickly, for inequalities, the idea here is treat it just like an equation, treat it just like it's an equal sign. So if I'm going to solve this problem, I'm going to undo the subtraction by adding 3. So and then I get 24 is less than. Remember, when it doesn't open to it, it's less. Or in other words, x has to be greater than 24. So I'll just go to 24. Notice there's no equal bar. There's no line underneath. So therefore, it would be an open circle saying, hey, it can't equal that, but it'd be everything above. Okay. 16, notice you have a negative 2x. In order to undo that negative 2, I am going to divide both sides by negative 2. But by dividing or multiplying by a negative number, remember we have to flip the sign because we're going in the opposite direction. We're changing the direction we're going. So that sign is now flipped, and now you get negative 50 here, and therefore I'd go over to negative 50. I'll put a fill dot in, and then shade everything that is less than 50, which would be everything on the left. For 17, if I divide by 3, you'll see that I don't have to flip because I didn't multiply or divide by negative. But this one is x has to be less than negative 10. I'll go to negative 10. Open circle because there's no bar, equal bar, and then everything less than negative 10 would be everything on the left. And that's it. In our last little bit of time, 18 and 19, again, these are not that bad. Take a look at what you're seeing with the variables. Notice we're solving for x, we're adding y and z. So all we have to do is minus y to undo it and minus z. So now this is a plus b minus y minus z, and this is now x. And that's probably where I'll stop with this video. I'll go over 19 in the Unit 2 video.